Welcome to Leveled Up Conversations, where we take conversations
to the next level!
I don't like you guys. You stole my line. Alright, so on today's show, tonight is the launch of the Xbox One. We had the PlayStation 4 happen recently.
Just quick, this is when we're filming it. Tonight is the launch of the Xbox
Not
One. When this is
when
released,
you
see this.
it'll already be out.
So if
Hope you all enjoy it.
Yeah.
If you're still in line, you missed it. So, there's a lot of videos up on YouTube about this, about which one's better, this one's my favorite, stuff like that. I don't want the end result of this video to be, this one's the greatest ever, which is why you guys are here. It's not just me talking. You gotta make sure that I don't just say that at the end, okay? That's the goal.
We'll try to keep you from doing that.
All right. So let's talk about some of our favorite things about the next generation consoles, what we think could have been done a little bit better, and what makes us excited. So, Sean, first of all, 30 seconds or less, Sean Murphy here. Let us know a little bit about yourself. Ready, go.
My name's Sean. I'm what casual gamers would probably call a hardcore gamer, and what hardcore gamers would probably call casual. So I'm in that happy medium realm there. Primarily a console gamer. Don't really do a whole lot on PCs, but my first games were on a Mac, and that was back when I was 12-ish or so. Started with games by Cyan Worlds, Manhole, Cosmic Cosmo, that kind of thing. Now I really like Assassin's Creed, Mass Effect, Portal.
Time. Lucas would like the last half of your answer. He would really appreciate it. If only he was here. So, what is your guys' favorite feature about the next-gen consoles? Jimmy, why don't you start us off? Favorite feature about the next-gen consoles?
I think with both consoles, I'm really interested because I don't own the PS4. I'm not gonna get the Xbox One probably for a while, or either one for a while. I'm gonna wait until things start to develop. But from what I've seen, what I've read, I think the controller on the PS4 looks amazing. Apparently, it feels great. I haven't held that one either.
Feels real good.
Right, and the fact that from everything you've been telling me with the gyroscopes in it and just all the features you've got built into that, a lot more control versus like the 6-axis controllers. I am going to have to say, with the Xbox One, I think the Kinect has a lot of potential, just because of how much better the camera is on the Kinect versus the original Kinect, and I'm interested to see what they're going to do with it. Right now, there's not a whole lot besides waving your hands in the air like an idiot to change channels and do that kind of stuff. Right. But I think it has potential, so I'm excited to see what comes from the Kinect.
And when we had that conversation about how you really enjoyed, the Kinect and the motion controls, and you were excited for that, what frustrated me is I felt like my trust was broken from the original Kinect, because during the launch of it, they were talking about all these great things that it could do. Not all these great games that they were planning on doing that were about to come out or demoing them, but saying this is its potential. And I'm seeing that again with the Xbox One with the Kinect 2, just being here are the great things it can do. And I guess when you and I talked, I was just no, I'm not having any of that. That's what they said last year, or last launch. I don't feel like they're going to do it again. And you were just no, they will. They can't not utilize this technology. And we were talking about the price, which we will get into later as well, about now it's with every console. It's not an add-on you can buy, so they can rely on people having the Kinect, which I feel like is a big piece to that.
Yeah, so big difference now between the Kinect on the Xbox 360 and the Kinect that comes with the Xbox One is the fact that it's there. Everybody is going to have it. So because the developer knows that it's going to be a feature that everybody who plays that game will have, they can actually start making intelligent decisions about how they want to utilize it. Before it was, you can shout at the screen to change weapons or do something different.
You could do your Skyrim dragon shouts at the screen, and it was cool, and I sneezed once and breathed fire, and it was the most amazing thing that has ever happened. Sorry.
Right. So and that stuff, it was kind of cool, an afterthought of I guess since we can add this little sticker saying that it's made for the Kinect, and you can do these other things, but that never really enhanced the gameplay. I mean, maybe your sneeze enhanced your gameplay.
Blew my mind.
But that's not really something that you can rely on everybody having that same experience.
Right.
The fact that it's built in, you can rely on everybody having that same experience, and you can do some great things with it. One thing that we were talking about, and actually my girlfriend brought this up to me. Right now we have a 360 and a Kinect, and we got it strictly because she wanted to do some of those like dance games, and I got the Nike like athletic app, or that not the app, sorry, the game, like the Nike trainer.
Yeah.
And she was going through online and seeing like, oh, well, actually, if you're looking for weight loss, they like I forget what website it was, but they ranked games that actually were the best based on what they had you doing to losing weight. And it went number 1 was the Zumba game, which is my girlfriend's favorite game on there, and then the number 2 was the Nike training game. With the new Kinect and the better camera on there, you can get a better read on somebody, like they're doing that like pulse reading. And they can actually, one of the games that is out currently, but I don't think it's you can't really utilize it that well with the first Kinect, is the Biggest Loser game. That they have you can do some weekly diaries. They can actually take pictures of you so you can see the difference in your body week to week. With this better camera and the better sensor on it, you can actually get a much more accurate reading and probably be able to see those things a lot better on there if you're looking for that type of an experience. And again, the Xbox One really trying to be marketed at everybody, not just hardcore gamers, where that's really kind of what the PS4 marketed itself towards. You can get other people who aren't interested in games but being like, you know what, I want to get active and I'm a little bit intimidated to go to the gym. I think I can handle this at home and I can do something like that.
And I really like what you talked about the heartbeat sensor, where they can see your pulse and stuff like that. Because one thing, again, going back to the potential of it, is during horror games, well, you're going to have the Kinect there. It can see your pulse. It can see when you're getting scared. It can change the music. It can throw at the screen and just scare you. And I was like, that would be amazing. That would be just so cool. And I would hate it, like playing Silent Hill and it knowing I'm terrified, because I'm always terrified when I'm playing Silent Hill, but just the fact that the game knows, because then I'm thinking, you know I'm scared. It's like bleeding in the water with a shark there. It's just like, I know you're going to kill me. Just do it already. Just come out and do it. But yeah, so I really wanted to hear kind of your ideas of what's going to happen with Kinect.
Yeah, the fact that it's there is a game changer versus the PlayStation Eye, not something that they included, so developers might not feel as compelled to utilize it because not everybody's going to have it. And why would you want to do something that maybe 10% or more, who knows what the install base is going to be for the Eye, will be able to take advantage of, because that's just not like, oh, well, some people might use this, but not everybody, so why are we wasting money on that?
Yeah.
Sean, favorite features about the next-gen consoles, both Xbox One and PlayStation 4?
Well, kind of an interesting thing is not necessarily my favorite thing, but what I would have expected it to be would be the launch titles. What games are necessarily coming out for each of those. And the fact that when I look at both consoles, there's a small handful of them for each of them, but there's not this massive collection of games that say, I want to get this one because I know that these are more games that I'm going to want to be able to play.
Right, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because everyone that's getting a game on launch, they're not getting the console for this game. Like, I'm a huge Killzone fan, and I have the PS4, and I'm playing Killzone. I did not get it to play Killzone. I got it to play Infamous, which is going to be coming out later. I got it to play Destiny, which is going to be coming out later. It's both consoles, but beta early access, so I'm really excited about that. And I was looking back at like other launch titles, and I feel like Xbox 360, the original Xbox, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, the launch titles have never really been big. Like, it's been so far and away since we've seen the last launch that we forget that. But Nintendo always does launch titles really big. You get, with the GameCube, we had Brawl. With the other games, like we get all these Mario games and stuff with the other consoles.
With the Wii, we had Wii Sports, which is why I bought a Wii, because you see somebody play, you're like, that's so much fun.
Yeah.
I need to get this because of that game.
Was tennis bundled in that?
Yeah, well, that was in Wii Sports, and
That
that
was
was great.
very
I was
fun.
amazing
Yeah,
at
bowling.
Wii Tennis. Yeah.
Bowling. I worked in an old folks' home, and they did.
Bowling night, and that's what they did. And I was like, that's adorable. You guys. But anyway, sorry.
No, it's okay. And that goes back to video you had a while ago with the nostalgia is a lot of what's pulling me towards one of those consoles is based on my experience with them up until now. So I've got both a 360 and a PS3, and my experience with the 360, I've got a much larger collection of games just because that's what I've been playing, and those have the stories that I've followed along with and the characters that I've grown up with, and that's what I want to continue seeing more of, and I know that I'm going to see that in one console over another one.
Yeah.
But with the PS4 we were mentioning earlier, with The Last Guardian, and that there's the hope that it'll be on number 4.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what I'm using to base off of, because when you look at both of the consoles, really most of them are neck and neck on a lot of the different features, a lot of the different specs that we go off of.
Yeah. For me, one of my favorite things about like the next gen consoles was not a lot of like the launch titles, although like I said, I was really excited for Killzone, but I really enjoy the new controllers. Like, I've had hands-on both. I prefer the PlayStation 4 controller, but I was one of the very few that preferred the PlayStation 3 controller. I really enjoy the Xbox One controller as well, though. Like, I know it seems kind of silly to say, but that's my favorite thing, is the new controllers. Like, being able to play, because right now I'm playing Battlefield and Call of Duty, like games I could be playing on, and I was playing on a current gen console. And so being able to play those games with this new controller that, you know, feels so much better, it's much more responsive. I just absolutely love being able to do that.
And I've gotten my hands on the PS4 controller, and I did not like the PS3 controller. I did not like how it felt. It felt too light. It didn't seem as responsive as some people's experience with it has been. But the PS4 controller definitely feels more solid. It's got a little more weight to it. Each of the buttons, they have a much more satisfying clunk to it, if you will, when you're pushing the button in. Haven't got my hands on an Xbox One controller yet, but I loved the 360 controller. I think that it felt solid. It felt good in my hands. It was just, the contours were perfect. It was a nice setup.
Yeah, the 360 controller won between those two controllers of last generation.
Well, I feel like the 360 won between the two.
Well,
I wouldn't say it was the controller.
Well,
the console as a whole won.
Right, the console as a whole won, but looking at those two controllers, people preferred the 360 controller versus the PlayStation 3 6-axis controller, especially since at first it didn't have rumble in there because of
I didn't even
lawsuit.
know that. I thought that was really weird.
Yeah, there's a lawsuit and they didn't have it in there, then they were able to get it back.
Right.
But with controllers, I feel like Nintendo really kind of first pioneered the way of like, what's the new controller going to be with the new console? And then this N64 comes out, you're like, 3? Like, am I milking a cow? What is going on?
I hadn't heard the milking cow analogy.
Which is why I really wanted to see the original PlayStation 3 boomerang.
Yes.
Like the big old Fu Manchu.
I'm not going to lie, I wanted to throw that. Right? I wanted to get really mad at COD and throw it and it come back
Have it
and hit me in
bring
the
back
face.
and continue.
Be like, God damn it, campers! And just get whacked with it and be like, all right, we're good now. I deserve that. Let's keep going. All right, we're running close on time. So are you guys ready for a lightning round? First time ever, lightning round on Level Up Conversations. All right, I'm going to ask you guys a question. You're going to tell me, scale from 1 to 10, how important it is. 10 being super important, 1 being not so much. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. So first one, price point. PlayStation 4 is $400, Xbox One is $500. Sean, 1 to 10?
8.
I'm going to say 5, and here's why. I am the gamer, I wait until I buy the console, because if you look back at last generation, it took 4 years before we got the fantastic games that came out for it. It's going to be a little while before we really see those games are like, yes, I now need this console.
And the prices did go down significantly.
Right. So right now, it doesn't matter to me. I'm not buying right now.
Okay.
And when I get mine, it'll be at a 5.
Right.
But right now, yeah, I'm not getting either of them at the moment because of that.
And me, I feel like it was like 7 to 8. I feel like it was pretty high. And you could really gauge that from the response at E3 when they announced the prices. Moving on, Kinect being bundled with the console, PlayStation Eye being brought separately. How do you guys feel about that?
For the overall experience, I think that's about a 9.
9.
I think a lot of it is going to be that interaction. The fact that the Xbox One is aimed more as a media console where you do a lot more than just games, and the fact that those voice controls and the hand gestures and the knowing who's sitting in front of it to log in, just those little details there.
Yep.
Being able to know that your console is going to do that every time and that experience is going to be the same across the board, I think is really important.
Jamie?
I'd say 8. It's definitely something that draws you to the console. The fact that, that's there, and if you take that $100 price difference,
Yep.
it can be added up with putting the eye on.
Well, I's only $70 or $80.
We're
But
getting close.
We're close.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a ball on a budget. Every penny counts.
Understand.
All right.
And for me, I feel like out of the three of us, I'm the most hardcore gamer. So I felt like it's really low, like a 3 or a 4. I didn't care that the Kinect. It made me upset that I had to buy it. I understand why. I think it's a great reason. So that way every developer knows you have the Kinect, and we have some great potential that could be there. It just wasn't a big deal to me. I was like, okay, I'm not going to use these in the games that I'm going to be playing in the way that I hope to be able to use them. But
At this point, I'm just viewing it as part of the console.
Right.
I don't see it as an add-on or as a separate thing,
Well,
which is, I'm
it's
sure,
not.
what they're...
Right.
Yeah, I know, which is what they're kind of going for.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see it as an additional thing that I had to buy. No, it's part of the Xbox One.
okay, so that ends the lightning round. Lightning round, not because our answers are quick, but because lightning round is really quick.
Did we win?
Yeah, we got a beer. Hey!
You guys win.
Some cool exclusives that we have coming towards the consoles if people, are kind of on the fence. PlayStation 4 gets generally, or PlayStation as a whole, 3 and 4, get generally an hour extra for a lot of Ubisoft games. Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs, an additional hour of content. The Call of Duty games, Xbox is going to be getting them a month earlier, the DLC, which is pretty cool. PlayStation will not have Titanfall. That's just going to be exclusive to your guys' content. And your guys'. I'm sorry. You guys view me as the PlayStation 4 guy because I own one. I'm sorry.
And therefore, we are the Xbox One.
I see how that works.
I guess that's...
If you're not with me, you're against me type of thing.
We're not against you.
We're
I
not-
will probably own both consoles. at some
Remember
point.
the
Exactly.
statement in the beginning? This is why you need
Give
to
us
be here on
about
the
a
show.
year.
That's ignore that part.
They just announced that the Destiny beta will be early access to PlayStation, which I'm super excited about. And I can't wait to see kind of what the other exclusives are. Because right now we're seeing a lot of both consoles getting these things. Before there were so many exclusives, and now we're kind of shying away from that. They want to have it on both consoles. And I'm just kind of excited to see what the future holds. Any closing thoughts for you guys?
I am very excited for the consoles, but again, I'm going to wait.
Mm-hmm.
And when there's more content out there for me, I will end up getting both.
Yep.
And when I've had the opportunity to actually try both of them, to get my hands on the controllers for both of them, interact with the interface, I think then I'll be able to decide. But I'll probably do both.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Help us level up the conversation by joining in the comments down below. Follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube video, let us know what you think, and have a wonderful night.